All right, here we go. This is going to be a look at, oh shit, Scott Allen Smith. I almost said Sam Smith, but no, I don't think Sam Smith would ever do something like this. This is a guy, underrated, underappreciated guy. Actually, I've never seen this full thing before. I know, like, he's from the Riverside Sting, and there were so many guys who came to the Riverside Sting that they didn't feature a lot of them during the showing, the original airing on NBC. So this guy never showed up, never was showed on air, but they made a raw footage segment about him. I've never seen the full thing. Like, I know a couple of the different, like, famous lines that he says, which are pretty fucking funny lines, but I haven't seen the whole thing. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to look at Scott Allen Smith here. It's going to be like a little bit of a reaction also. So it's going to be interesting. You know, a little bit different than what we're used to. But let's get into it. I don't know. I don't have a name for him or anything yet. Like, oh, the whatever Predator, whatever you want to call him. I'll just call him Scott Smith right now, and we'll come up with a nickname at the end, perhaps. All right, here we go.
So a month ago, you got caught by perverted justice.
Well, I didn't say I got caught. She just said that.
Talking to somebody who said they were underage.
Yeah.
And you didn't learn any lesson.
So that's kind of like Keith Williams, isn't it? Keith Williams did the same thing, where he was caught by perverted justice and didn't learn his lesson.
And she doesn't say anything.
Uncommon sense. Okay.
About 18. The only thing she says is that she's 13. They have to make up this story on the spot. And when you have to make up a story that quickly, you know, it can sometimes be difficult to ad lib, especially when confronted with transcripts and the fact that you brought certain things that you promised to bring a young teenage girl.
So, this is interesting because Chris Hansen says, "Oh, when you have to hear a story, when you have to make up a story on the spot, and it's going to be all over the place." And that's kind of part of the reason why I love TCAP so much. It's just to see predators back themselves into a corner with their ridiculous stories, and all the time they're trying to explain why they wouldn't have had sex with the underage child. That's part of the reason why I love TCAP so much, because it's just really interesting to me to see how people explain themselves out of bad situations. And so apparently this guy's got a pretty good story here, so let's take a look.
39. And why do you think it's okay for a 39-year-old to come visit a 13-year-old?
It's not.
Then why'd you do it?
It's not.
I don't know. I've never done it before, so.
Really?
Seriously.
Do you have a plan for tonight?
No, not really. I mean, there was no definite plan. She kept saying something about sex or whatever, and I told her I wasn't coming up there to hook up or whatever. I was just coming up there to hang out with her, to talk to her.
Sort of.
So he's another one. He's just kind of talking a mile a minute, man. I mean, never said anything about, sex. Never had any concrete plan. Blah, 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 blah. No, he's just talking a mile a minute, man. And right away, looking at this guy, I mean, he looks ugly, but he's actually not super, at least, I mean, he is losing a little bit of his hair, but it's not as bad as some other guys. He's 39, so the age that Anthony Palumbo, what they claim to be. But yeah, I mean, he's not overly, bad looking. I mean, he probably looks like a standard 39-year-old guy. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing overtly wrong with him as far as the looks go. As far as I see, just right away, this is my first time really looking at him in depth here. I mean, he's ugly, but he's not anything out of the ordinary as terms of predators go. But I still hate him. He's still ugly. He's still a fucking asshole. Go fuck yourself.
Whatever, and I told her I wasn't coming up there to hook up or whatever. I was just coming up there to hang out with her, to talk to her.
That's sort of hard to believe, especially when you go back and look at the chat logs and the fact that they talked about bringing a certain kind of alcoholic beverage, and here he is,
some kind of
with that exact type of wine cooler. What do you got in the bag there?
She asked me to bring some of that for her mom, because she said she was drinking some of her mom's coolers or something. So she wanted to...
For her mom?
Well, she said she was drinking her.
You know, I have the transcript.
I know, but she said she was drinking some of those.
That's not what she said.
Yes, she did. She said that she wanted me to bring some of those.
For her. She likes them.
So that's pretty funny. So the mother... Okay, so his story here is that his mother... The girl's mother had all these Smirnoff ices, whatever. I guess they're... I saw Smirnoff. I'm just going to assume they're Smirnoff ices. So they had... She had them, and then the 13-year-old... I'm assuming it's a 13-year-old also. I don't know if that to be true or not. I'm 13, 14, whatever. Same thing, right? But it was drinking some of them, so he asked this guy to bring them to replace them. That's not a terrible excuse to think about like that, but it's obviously not true because no person is drinking these. I would hope that when you're 21, you turn 21, your legal drinking age here in the States. I would hope that if you're 21, you're not drinking these as your first beverages, as your first alcoholic beverage, legal alcoholic beverage, right? This is what you would drink if you were 16 or younger, really, and you're just like getting into alcohol for the first time. Even when I first started drinking, I didn't really drink any of these. I thought these were terrible. Like, I've had them in my relative past. I thought they were fucking terrible. They're not even good. Like, they're supposed to be like, oh yeah, you can't even tell that you're drinking alcohol. But yeah, but you're not drinking anything good either. It's fucking awful.
Well, she was drinking the ones out of her mom's refrigerator for her. I mean, so I guess it'd be to replace them.
Oh, you know who he kind of looks like? I'm going to pull up a picture. Give me a sec.
That's what he was going with. He stuck.
For whatever reason, from this angle, from whatever angle that was, he reminded me of Joe Davola, crazy Joe Davola from Seinfeld. He was in a couple episodes, two episodes I remember. He was in the guy who dressed up like a clown. But yeah, he kind of reminds me of this guy. That's pretty funny, actually. This fucking guy right here. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of him. I might be completely
that
off
story
on
to
that,
the
but
bitter end. You ask her, have you ever had sex with a guy before? Yeah, one time. When was that? How was it? So you think you can handle yourself then with an older man?
I'm just making conversation.
Maybe I can have a mom and daughter thing.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Oh, mother-daughter thing. Oh, man. So this guy, not only did he want to statutorily rape a young child, but he also wanted to do it at the same time with the mother. Oh, man. That's crazy, man. Like, that is a kind of a fantasy kind of thing, right? But it's not when the chick is 13. It's always when they're 18 over, right? That's kind of like that is somewhat of a fantasy thing, but yeah, but yeah, not when they're 13. Oh my god.
You seem a little worried in this internet conversation about the possibility of her being a cop.
You know, I can feel strange when I talk to people online because you don't know who they are, So.
Well, she pretty much said who she is.
She said she wasn't a cop or anything like that.
That's right.
She kept asking me the same thing, and I said no.
So that's the laziest form of detective work from these predators, and they always do it, and then they just think that that's okay. They just type, "Are you a cop?" And then it doesn't work. It's obviously they're not. First of all, you're not talking to a cop, so it's not like you got lied to or anything. But it's like even if that was true. That, oh yeah, if you that's like what Jeff Stacey said. My druggy friend said that if you ask someone if they're a cop, they have to tell you. It's not true, first of all. But it's just that the cop can't go and initiate contact, right? This guy, they always initiate contact, so they're screwed. That excuse doesn't work anyway. So, yeah, I mean, but it's the laziest form of detective work. From all the predators, and it's just so, again, it's just lazy, I think Mr. Gigi's kind of said it the best, right? If they ask for you instead of just asking if they're a cop, ask for nudes, because they can't send nudes because they don't, obviously they're not 13-year-olds, right? And they can't have pictures like that, right? So if they say no, that's when you shut it down. I mean, I don't want to give tips. I'm not acting like, oh, this is a tip session, but it's so lazy. This all could have been avoided, you dumb fuck, if you would have just done a little bit more. You would have put a little bit more effort into your statutory rape. No, I'm kidding. Don't put more effort into it. But it's just like you kind of put your feet in these guys' shoes, and like, what would you do? I mean, I would never end up in this situation anyway. But I'm just saying, if I was in this situation, what would I do differently? Right? It's kind of like when you watch films or television shows. You know, you put yourselves in the shoes of the bad guy. Say, how would I win? Because if I was the bad guy in all of these shows, movies, whatever, I'm not even really a big movie guy. But I just like, if I watch them, I want the bad guys to win. And I'd be like, and they don't ever win. So I'd be like, oh, how would I have done? What would I have done differently to win this? And yeah, it's just something that I do. I don't know. Does that make me weird? I don't know.
You say I got caught.
Well, there was like an online detective or whatever that was roaming the chat rooms or whatever, and she said that
Yahoo Police.
She was undercover or whatever for
whatever.
I don't know what group it was or whatever.
Whatever. Yo, this guy's saying whatever every third word. There you go. That's the nickname right there. The whatever predator. I think I was talking to commenter, legendary TCAP commenter, I guess, Christopher Cannon, and he said, I think he said, oh yeah, he's the whatever predator, and I agree with that. So yeah, I forgot about that until now, but he's saying whatever every like third word. That's how you know he's fucking nervous, and he's just out of his, his brain isn't spinning, isn't working fast enough for this situation right now. He's just not in a position where he can think straight. Even with his brain using all of its brain power, it's still not enough. What a fucking idiot.
Perverted justice.
Yeah, I think so.
So you got caught one time by perverted justice.
Yeah, but I wasn't doing anything. I was just chatting with somebody. It wasn't no sexual contact or anything like that. Or just.
How long ago did this happen?
I don't know, a month ago or so.
So a month ago, you got caught by perverted justice.
Well, I didn't say I got caught. She just said that.
Talking to somebody who said they were underage.
Yeah.
And you didn't learn any lesson from that.
Not really.
Did you send her any pictures?
What was on my little window?
Yeah.
And my box there. I didn't.
And what was on your little window? What kind of pictures?
Pictures of me.
What kind of pictures?
My face. Pictures of my penis.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Well, not.
Oh yeah, my little box and my little window. Just that pictures of my face. Oh yeah, just my penis. That was an accident. Oh, what a fucking idiot this guy is, man. He pulls it's a complete Keith Williams, Keith Williams is more iconic because he fucking says, "Oh, I'm not going to give you an interview," and then gives a 10-minute long interview. But he got caught, and then he does the same thing like less than a month later, or 2 weeks later, something like that, right? So it's fucking pretty funny, man. These guys just don't have any self-control or anything. I don't know. They just those are the types of people that just want kids. I think that this guy Keith Williams, same thing, They were just looking for kids, which is scary as fuck. They got off light sentences in Riverside. Yeah, I mean that's just how it was in California. They got pretty light sentences, and yeah, I mean a guy like this deserves it for sure. I mean JPW got fucked because he was a multiple time offender, so. They threw the book at him, but they should be throwing the book at guys like this. These are the guys that are more likely to do it again. You can say that some of them were just a one-off thing. I let my other head to get the best of me, meaning your penis head, and I learned my lesson, and that's the end of it. That's what Koryahia said. But then this guy, who already got caught once, does it again a month later. He's going to do it again. He's more likely to do it a third time, right? 1 time is a coincidence. 2 times is a trend. So it's definitely possible that this guy, more likely that this guy would do it again. So they should have threw the book at him, in my opinion.
Necessarily my penis, but yeah, pictures of penises, yeah.
Pictures of penises, he says. Oh, that's pretty good.
Well, not necessarily my penis, but yeah, pictures of penises, yeah.
Apparently he got another picture of somebody else's genitalia and sent that. And I'm not sure why.
He must have an ugly dick.
That's what he told me he did.
Small,
I mean, maybe
stubby.
I'm just getting older, or maybe I'm square, but I just had no idea that so many people were sending these sorts of pictures to each other on the internet.
I'm just curious to find out if somebody's interested. I'm not out looking for girls to have sex with online or anything like that. It's just all conversation. There's nothing.
So it's just all role playing.
Well, basically that's what being online is, isn't it? I mean, you can be somebody that you're not normally in person or life or in your social life or whatever. You're just
whatever.
You know, you could be whoever you want.
What should happen to you?
I don't know. The words might say like I was coming up here for sex. Like I said, I didn't come with condoms. I didn't come up here. I even told her I was. Just wanted to talk about coming here to hook up. Curiosity got the best of me. I don't know.
It's just pure curiosity that got the best of me. That's what Dan Allen said too. A lot of excuses, man. You watch so many of this, so much of this shit, right? I mean, you all these lines start to blend together, but then some stick out. Like, oh, it's just pure curiosity that got the best of me from Dan Allen. Fucking the bumbling idiot predator. That's what I call him, I think. This guy's got a lot of great assets, man. He says role playing chat room, dude. Curiosity got the best of me. He says whatever every 3 words. and then he goes, pictures of penises, not necessarily mine. Oh my god. Oh, that's great.
Stop chatting.
I could have, yeah. I mean, you're right, I could have.
Well, Scott, there's a couple things you need to know. One is that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story. Now, he thinks, I suppose...
Oh, man, that's great. He tried to grab the bag. He's just like, nope, wait, last second. Wait, no, I don't need it. Oh, that's great. He's like, look at this mandible claw right here grabbing the bag. But yeah, he tries to grab the bag and then backs out at the last second. That's fucking hilarious. Watch that again.
One is that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story. Now he thinks it's like
he's got to get out of there as quick as possible. If you couldn't grab the bag in one swift motion, it would just take too much time, and it wouldn't be. You just got to bolt. But if he could have grabbed it in one swift motion, he's not cool enough to pull that off. He's not like a fucking action hero character. But if he was sly enough, he could have made it all in one motion. Boom, tucked it to his chest like a football player, like a running back, right? Fucking got a stiff arm going, smack the cameras, man. Fucking go out guns blazing. But no, he just stumbles like an idiot. Oh shit! Oh crap! Let me go. He fucking books it. Oh, what a jokester, man.
Is that okay? Fine. I just have to leave here and I'm golden. Well, he finds out differently when he gets to the end of the driveway and runs into the Riverside County Sheriff's.
Okay, that's what you talked about doing when you got here.
Man, look at this. This looks like it's in like some like Walmart parking lot right here. That is the best place to have. They should put all public sex offender predator interrogations out for the public to watch in a parking lot. They should definitely do that. I have that same lantern, by the way. I love it. There's just 2 people here just watching it. I mean, they're obviously with them, but imagine it's just like two random blokes just watching this on the parking lot. Yo, I would definitely like. How much money would you pay to watch public interrogations like this? Like if it was Ken Brinkman's interrogation, to get a front seat with your popcorn and everything, watch it live and in person. I would definitely go to that.
When you got here,
correct,
you got cut off before you could do that.
No, well, not necessarily. I mean, yeah, I got cut off. But
first of all, that's a bold fashion choice right there. White socks with black shoes. Ooh, I don't know about that.
I mean, I wasn't.
You're gonna.
I'll talk. It's all talk. You know, it's all talk, bro. It's
all talk,
you
bro. Yo, who is this guy, man? Dude, you just got arrested for being a predator. And he's saying, it's all talk, bro. That should be one of the big lines. Instead of, it's just role play in chat room, dude, or something like that. In terms of the most famous excuses, that's right up there, in my opinion. Yeah, it's all talk, bro.
I mean, yeah, I got cut off, but I mean, I wasn't.
You're gonna.
I'll talk. It's all talk. You know, it's all talk, bro. No,
it's not all talk. You drove physically.
Yeah, you're right. I did, but I never touched her.
You didn't talk about driving here. You actually drove here.
No, you're absolutely right.
Oh man, that's it though. Look at him go. It's all talk, bro. All right, but that's it. That's Scott Smith, though. Whatever Predator, I guess we'll dub him. Pretty good, pretty good. I don't know. I would like to see. You know, I don't know if maybe he was worthy of the Raw segment here, but it was better to see him than to not see him at all. It's not like Chris Hansen really added anything with his narrations and talking heads and that in this particular instance. But yeah, that'll do it. So, Scott Smith. So, until next time, I guess, I'll see you guys later.